It's the holidays, you need a break. It's summertime, you don't want to produce. But can you actually take some time off without losing listeners, without losing that momentum? Maybe. Depending on how big of a show you have and how much people are like your true all-time fans that are showing up and looking for your stuff. But realistically, for the everyday podcaster, I highly do not recommend taking a break. But you can still take a break with these simple tips. Welcome to the podcast about podcasting, where you guessed it, we're talking all things podcasting, but not just in the sense of strategy of how to launch, grow, and monetize your show. Of course, you're going to get that, but we're going deep into how podcasting can actually help you build your community, build your confidence, and if you're willing to lean deep into this platform, it can be the ticket to the life of your dreams, because it'll inspire you to go deeper, to get to know yourself. And as we know, success starts from within. If you are ready to stop being a ripple in this world and bust out your tsunami of change you know you were made for, it's podcasting for your soul. I'm your host, Jen Dragonette, so let's dig in. So I tell you you can't take a break, then I tell you you can. Well, let's just talk about podcast listeners. Hello there, beautiful. How are you? Thanks for being here. But you're here. You know that I drop an episode twice a week for you. This might be built into your schedule. Maybe you take time to learn how to podcast on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and you set aside that time to hang out with me for 10 to 15 minutes. What happens if I take a month off and I'm not there on your Tuesday or Thursday? Well, you find something else to fill that hole. What's the likelihood that if you have not followed my show and hit the automatic downloads, that you will remember to come back in a month, unless you're a true superfan, to start listening again when I feel like it's time for me to start recording? The likelihood is no. This is also the same reason I do not recommend doing every other week for your show. Why I recommend at minimum a 1 time a week show. Because we are training you. I love you. Don't take this personally. But we're training you to show up at a certain time, a certain place, and to give you a certain value bomb. So when you don't do that, people need that time to be filled with something else. And it's going to be a different show. And you might not get that listener back. So you're to that, I want a pod fade. You're to that, I can't talk about this again. Or heck, I want to go on a 2-month gallivant around Europe. And then I want to go down to Australia. And then I want to go check out all the places. And I don't want to have to record. All right, here are some things you can do. If your show has been around for a while, meaning you have, 30, 40 episodes, and you want to at least keep one of those time slots, let your people know that, hey, I am taking this down to a once a week show. So at least you're not losing your entire audience. And what you do is you go back and you look at which episodes had the most downloads and which episodes were trending. And then you create a best of series. How do you do a best of series? I recommend starting your episode because you already have the hook, you already have your intro, you already have all the things, so you can pull that audio, but create a new hook. Oh my goodness, you guys loved this episode so much. I wanted to bring it back for you. Maybe you're a new listener or you skimmed through it the last time. Here's the value bombs that you're going to get from this best of episode. And then give a value bomb, value bomb, value bomb. Then let your old hook play. Then let your old intro play. And then let your episode play. That way, you are still releasing an episode every single week. If you have content that can be legacy, so you're not constantly chasing an algorithm and teaching a specific thing where it's always being updated, this can work. If you are somebody who is teaching business and social media and all of those things, what other parts of business do you teach? Do you teach personal branding? Do you teach money mindset? Do you teach wealth? This would be a great time to start thinking about folding some of those episodes into your podcast also. So the second thing you can do is batch record. You can sit down in front of a microphone, give yourself like a 2-hour block, and record a bunch of mini episodes. Even if your people are used to listening to 20 to 30 to 45-minute episodes, you can sit there and be like, hey, I'm giving you quick hits. I know that it's summertime and we're all busy, so I'm going to honor your time so that you can have more time to go out and play by giving you these quick hit episodes. And then you go through and give them a quick hit. Instead of your longer episodes, you do 5-10 minutes. You're still keeping your person coming back on that day of the week to listen to you. You're not taking a break. So between the best of, quick hits, you can always look at other things that you're doing. It really is important to have that consistency if you want growth. If you look at the shows that are in the top, so like the top 0.5% podcasts, what you notice is they are consistent. If you look through their episodes, there's not huge gaps. They're constantly putting out content. But that doesn't mean that some of that content isn't repurposed. Maybe over the summer you teach a class because you haven't fully stepped out of your business. You teach a class. Okay, take that class, take a chunk of that class and make it an episode. Maybe you have gone on other people's shows and you did an episode. Maybe it's time to reach out to them and see if you can have the audio so that you can put it on your show. And you can see if you can put it on your show. So there's a lot of different ways. If you are a healer or an EFT tap practitioner, you can put out meditations, EFT tappings. You can put out activations. You can put out journaling. You can do whatever fits into your niche. But it's really important that you keep those time slots. You have worked hard. You have earned that listener on that day. Do not lose it by saying, I'm going to take the summer off and then I'm going to pick it back up. And then when you pick it back up, you wonder why your episodes have gone from $200 to $300 downloads to 50. It's because you lost that time slot. So do I think you can take a break? Yes, but it requires some pre-planning, and that's either batching, doing a best of, creating mini episodes, whatever it is, pre-plan. If you're a twice a week person, get your audience down to once a week, but do not lose all the time slots because you will lose listeners. Those people will not be conditioned when you decide to pick up the mic again. So it's your show. You can do you. You can take breaks. You can come back. You can do seasons, whatever you want to do. Just know that if you want that consistent growth, you have to have consistent content. You have to work to be programmed into those people's slots. And it is so important, especially this time of the year. I keep seeing it over and over and over again. I have clients come back for production. It's like, okay, I'm going to pick it up for another 90 days, and then I'm going to take a break. And I'm like, and then in 90 days, when they stop and they're like, my show hasn't grown that much, what happened to my listeners from the last 90 days? I have to go through and explain this again. Pre-plan. Make sure that you keep that content rolling. Make sure that people have that time slot for you and know that new listeners are coming through all the time so you can repool some of your best of episodes, and those work great. Sometimes it takes more than once for us to know something. That's why I'm sharing this more than once, because it keeps coming up. Be consistent. Be consistent if you want that growth. If you truly want to be seen and heard and be a magnet to warm, hot leads, you got to be consistent. Period. End of story. I love you, but there's the harsh truth. So if you are struggling with being burnt out, overwhelmed, reach out, grab a podcast CPR audit. They're free. It's 30 minutes with me where we look at, is it clear, your people and your purpose and your revenue? And we take that 30 minutes together and we really give your business and your podcast a little resuscitation. And this would also be a great time if you want to plan out some way that you can take a break. And they're free. And if after the 30 minutes you want to work with me, great. If not, I am a no pressure kind of girl. So that's just me getting to know you, supporting you. And if you want to go further, I'm there. If not, at least you have an action plan to get your podcast resuscitated. I'm so sad that 80% aren't making money. I'm so sad about the rate of people that pod fade out. Don't let that be you. This is a gold mine if you use it properly. Stay consistent. Let's talk about if you're having a consistency problem. Let's do the things. So go out, make today amazing, and what? Stay consistent, because you are worthy of being seen and heard. So let people see and hear you. Let people show up on the same week, the same time, and be served by you. Become those red hot leads that becomes revenue in your pocket. All right, go out and do the things, and I'll see you soon.